Never give a sword to a man who can't dance.
From the dance party, Blaine Goodbody. Blaine, many don't understand the platform of the dance party. How would you best describe it to prospective voters? I see.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
I'm in the bright lights, but I still feel darkness. I'm in the bright lights, but I still feel darkness. I wish I never hurt you, darling. I wish I didn't end like that. I wish that you could give me some of that heartbreak back. And nothing ever lasts forever. There's nothing like what we had. I wish that you could give me some of that heartbreak back.
It'll give me time to think. If I had the chance, I'd ask a woman to dance.
I'm used to it by now. Lying in my bed, another day, staring at the ceiling. Just breathe.
That's
It was great.
fantastic. I was actually just reflecting to someone yesterday. I wonder what all of our retirement homes are going to look like in the future, because I just think we're going to need DJs. I feel like the retirement homes of the future are going to be much cooler than they were 1 hour.
I don't know. It's,
Yeah, you have needs. You need cool music.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the standing all night with a beer in your hand. I'm not sure that I'll be able to do that 15 years from now.
You can do that. You'll be there. I'll come and find you.
Okay.
Okay.
Part of the problem that we have right now in our culture is trying to diagnose the level at which the discussion should be taking place. And I think the reason that this is a tumultuous time is because it actually is a time for discussion of first principles. First principles are the things that you assume and then move forward. It's like, well, what should we assume? Well, the dignity of the human soul. Let's start with that. You can't treat yourself properly without assuming that. You can't have a relationship with another person. You can't stabilize your family. You can't have a functional society. So what does it mean for the human soul to have dignity? Well, part of the idea is that you're participating in creation itself, and you do that with your actions and your language. And you get to decide whether you're tilting the world a bit more towards heaven or a bit more towards hell. And that's actually what you're doing. So that's a place where the literal and the metaphorical truth come together. And people are terrified of that idea, as they should be. It's a massive responsibility. A lot of what determines your political orientation is biological temperament, far more than people realize. So, for example, liberals are high in a trait called openness, which is one of the big 5 personality traits. And it's associated with interest in abstraction and interest in aesthetics. Interest in abstraction and interest in aesthetics. Interest in abstraction and interest in aesthetics. And they're low in trait conscientiousness, which is dutifulness and orderliness in particular. Whereas the conservatives are the opposite. They're high in conscientiousness, they're dutiful and orderly, and they're low in openness. And that makes them really good managers and administrators and often businessmen, but not very good entrepreneurs. Because the entrepreneurs are almost all drawn from the liberal types. These are really fundamentally biologically predicated differences. You might think about them as different sets of opportunities and limitations, and certainly different ways of screening the world. Each of those different temperamental types needs the other type. Let's call this a diversity issue. If you start understanding that the person that you're talking to who doesn't share your political views isn't stupid, you might be talking to someone who's more conscientious and less creative than you if you happen to be a liberal. But that doesn't mean that that person's perspective is not valid, and it doesn't mean that they wouldn't outperform you in some domains, because they would. So one thing to remember is people actually do see the world differently. It's not merely that they're possessed of ill-informed opinions. The whole point of a democracy is to continue the dialogue between people of different temperamental types, so that we don't move so far to the right that everything becomes encapsulated in stone and doesn't move, or so far to the left that everything dissolves in a kind of mealy-mouthed chaos. Mealy-mouthed chaos. Mealy-mouthed chaos.
I see.
Those who have swords and know how to use them, but keep them sheathed. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster. You should be a monster. Absolute monster. And then What's the answer to the meaning of life? Here's an answer. I was trying to solve this terrible puzzle about how it was that human beings got themselves in such a tangle about what they believed. And I thought, okay, well, I understand that. We need our belief systems. They orient us. And that means there will be conflict between belief systems, and that can be a catastrophe. And what's the solution to that? Well, one possibility is there's no solution. It's just mayhem all the way around. Could be the case. But it seemed to me, as I delved into it, that the proper solution to that was to live properly as an individual. And so then I think, well, if you got your act together, it'd be better for you, and instantly it would be better for your family, assuming they wanted you to get your act together, and not everyone does. And then it would be better for the community. Like, how far could you take that? If you stopped wasting time, and if you stopped lying, and if you oriented yourself to the highest possible good that you could conceive of, and you committed to that. How much good could you do? Well, I would say, why don't you find out? So, that's what I think you should do. Maybe you could sort yourself out so that you wanted nothing but the good. And then maybe you could help make that manifest in the world. Maybe we wouldn't have all these terrible problems then. At least we'd have fewer of them, and that would be a start. The answer to the problem of humanity is the integrity of the individual. That's the answer. So, and then you think, well, what's the barrier? And the barrier is, are you willing to accept the responsibility? And part of the answer to that is, reduce the damn responsibility until it's tolerable. You don't have to fix everything at once. You could just start by fixing the things that you could fix. You could do it with even less self-sacrifice. You could start by fixing only the things that you want to fix. God, you can get a massive way that way. So, do it. See what happens. That's what you should have been taught right from the beginning. Aim at the highest good. Tool yourself into something that can attain it. And go out there and manifest it in the world. Everything that comes your way will be a blessing. Meaning tells you when you're in the right place. And the right place is between chaos and order.